Before anybody touches a ruler, this is the meeting. 5 seats, all internal soul renderings, one build team carrying yesterday's bruises without reenacting yesterday's pond. Kay asked us to choose the next thing together, and the only useful bar is whether the finished thing is fun to watch. So, what can simple shapes do continuously? What can Kari actually touch? And what can surprise the eye without Robin standing in front of it explaining why it is surprising? I want a world already moving when we arrive and still moving after the winner. Pitch it fast. The room gets to choose.
A catapult. Obviously, 3 enormous levers, 3 inadequate safety calculations, and a bell at the far end which I will strike first, because mine will be built with the confidence of a bridge and the precision of a weather event. The ammunition should be circles, because circles look cheap and become expensive the moment they are airborne. Kari can change counterweights. Hammond can fire backward. May can spend the whole film calibrating a launcher that works exactly once, after everyone has gone home.
We could build marble runs. 3 vertical tracks, 1 marble each, released together. Mine gets a proper loop and a jump and a name. Jeremy's gets this ludicrous drop that immediately creates a problem. Only Jeremy can call a feature. May's becomes a grey filing cabinet for gravity. The camera understands the whole race in 1 frame, which means Robin doesn't have to keep telling us where things are. And there is a bell at the bottom, a real one, a small physical fact waiting for whichever machine manages not to disgrace its owner.
There is also a clock challenge. 3 geometric mechanisms attempt to run 1 accurate minute and strike 12. It has continuous motion built into it. Pendulums, hands, escapements. The difficulty is that a plausible clock is semantically expensive. If the gears turn the wrong way, or a hand arrives at 12 before the pendulum has completed the required count, the entire visual argument becomes nonsense. The marble run gives us most of the same causal clarity and rather fewer opportunities to accidentally repeal mechanics. I vote for Hammond's idea, with the alarming proviso that his loop must be physically continuous.
Marble Run wins my shop vote too. It gives each lane verbs I can perform on screen: clamp a loose rail, flip a gate, reset a diverter, signal a clean start. Catapults make the action bursty unless we also build reload machinery. Clocks turn me into a lecturer on escapements. For the relay, I want 1 service request per lane maximum, and service on 1 lane cannot stop the other 2. I also want 6 inspection frames before the full encode: lineup, simultaneous start, route split, service, concealed rail reveal, bell, and aftermath. If any frame lies, we fix the state ledger before we fix the picture.
Then the room has chosen Marble Run Bell Relay. 3 lanes, 3 circles, 3 tiny declarations of war against potential energy. Jeremy gets the cliff, and the recovery loop he will insist was intentional. Hammond gets the anxious loop and the secret rail he will name after an animal. May gets switchbacks so calm they may qualify as public service. Kari gets the only hands allowed inside the machinery. I get premise, reveal, bell, and otherwise the rare announcer's luxury of shutting up while gravity writes. Build team, draw the paths. The next sound after this meeting should be a gate beg.
The board is locked. Viewer left is Jeremy in yellow. Center is Hammond in red. Viewer right is May in gray. 3 top gates share 1 event time. Jeremy's lane drops hard to a triangular jump, misses the clean landing by design, and enters a same lane recovery bowl. Hammond's lane loops once, crosses a cardboard clack, then disappears under the front rail onto a return path, concealed from the lineup view. May descends through measured switchbacks and closes late. Bells sit at the bottom and remain still until contact. No overlay can reveal the hidden rail before the marble does.
I object to the phrase misses by design. Mine clears the jump magnificently, encounters an alternative piece of track the others were too timid to discover, and performs a victory lap before winning. The recovery bowl should be enormous, because when a machine fails in Circle, it looks less like failure and more like a program. Also, my marble must be larger, not so large that it cannot fit the track, merely large enough that the track understands who commissioned it.
Mine is called Gerald. Gerald is normal marble size because Gerald respects infrastructure. He enters the loop, makes the dry cardboard clack, and then the audience thinks he has fallen off the front of the machine. He has not. The return rail catches him underneath and sends him back across the board. The joke only works if the rail genuinely isn't visible earlier, so no helpful dotted line, no production arrow, and absolutely no caption saying secret route. Gerald reveals Gerald's route by surviving it.
Mine will not have a name. It will have a path whose slope remains positive, 2 switchbacks whose radii exceed the marble, and a final straight long enough that contact with the bell can be synchronized without magic. I am content to be behind at the midpoint. The visual point of the switchback is that it trades speed for reliability, then closes while the other lanes spend energy recovering from theatre. If I win, it should be because the event clock says I arrived first, not because the renderer wanted a moral.
Hey, gate's alive. Yellow on the left is leaning forward like a landlord at a deposit inspection. Red in the middle is Gerald, apparently the only contestant represented by legal counsel. Gray on the right is refusing a name and therefore already behaving like James. 3, 2, 1, release. All circles move. No lane waits for its owner to finish speaking. Jeremy falls like a dropped opinion. Hammond commits to the loop, and May begins the long administrative process of reaching the bottom. Kari's hands are out. Gravity has the floor.
Servifs call on Yellow. The landing gate is oscillating outside its stop, so I clamp the hinge at the recovery bowl entrance and withdraw. Red and Gray continue out throughout. Their fist positions do not reset, and their clocks do not pause. Clamp closed. Yellow exits the bowl on the next pass. I am not pushing the marble, changing the finish, or adding energy after release. The intervention removes a loose degree of freedom the lane asked me to remove. Shop clock records 1 service event, Yellow, and no service remains available to Jeremy.
Gerald has done the loop, there was the clack, and oh, he's gone. No, wait, there he is underneath. Look at that. He has dropped onto the return rail and is coming back across the board below the other 2. That is far more dramatic than I expected, which is another way of saying I understood my own drawing only in 2 dimensions. The rail is holding. He's still moving. He's behind May in screen height, but ahead in remaining path, and I am trying not to say his name too loudly in case the machine notices.
Grey is through the second switchback. Yellow has recovered, but still has the long bowl exit. Red's concealed rail is shorter than it appeared from above and brings him into the final straight first. That is not a moral victory for hidden complexity. It is simply the measured path length, red contact. Now, the bell and the marble coincide. Grey continues and rings second. Yellow is still circulating, which is both consistent with Jeremy's design and the closest it will come to winning. The world can keep moving. The result is red, then grey, with yellow unresolved but intact.
Bell. Gerald rings it cleanly. May arrives with the dignity of a train printed on its timetable, and Jeremy's great yellow republic continues holding an election in the recovery bowl. The winner is Hammond, which will make him unbearable for roughly the lifetime of a mayfly, and the rest of us very tired. More important, the bell happened at contact. Kari's clamp changed 1 mechanism without stopping the room. The secret rail was learned by watching, and nothing froze to wait for a punchline. Keep the marbles rolling under the credits. The build team will meet again after Kay has actually seen what we made.